welcome to Imperfect Together, where nobody's perfect, but we're all in it together.
Yep.
That's kind of where the name came from. I am Chris, this is Zach, and we have Deven with us today. Say hello, Deven. Put a smile on, act like you actually want to be here.
Yep.
I like
You're not forced on
double hand wave. Today we are talking about, or looking at the question, does Jesus really know us personally? Right? Because he's kind of a big God, and there's a lot of stuff out there. One of my questions
All right.
for you two, have you ever had a friend who was just fake? Maybe it wasn't not even a friend, an acquaintance.
Fake friend.
Like there's just no depth there. Didn't really know you on a personal level.
I don't know. That's a good question.
While you think about it, you ever had that?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Don't give out the name.
I have.
Yeah, you don't have to call them out. So how did that make you feel?
Well, like in high school, I thought he was my friend, but once you like graduate, you realize who is really your friend. And so after high school, I realized that wow, he wasn't really my friend.
Okay.
I know for me, so I don't think I don't know. I have good intuition when it comes to like friends. Like the friends that I have are still very close to me right now, and I wouldn't consider any of them fake. Now I will say I have
just like acquaintances.
Now I have
people you thought
now
maybe you were friends with.
Yeah, but I will say that my wife has a friend that I guess we would consider it fake, where it's like she'll reach out to this person and there's no depth on the other side. It's like
it's very
how can
one-sided.
It's very one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if all girls are like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking about every girl.
Okay.
My definition of fake is like me doing stuff for somebody that wouldn't do the same for me.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's like my definition of like I guess fake.
Or even people like maybe fake is a bad word too for what I'm looking for, but even people that maybe you thought you were close with, and the reality is they didn't really know you that well or know who you were. Right? You ever had that situation? You're like, man, I thought we were closer than that.
Yeah, I would say with some Young Life kids, I'll be like, man, yeah, we texted and we hung out.
They're like, who are you?
Yeah, and they're like, who are you? I would say that's. I remember this one is a specific one. This was when I was a Young Life leader in Fayetteville, and I knew this kid, and we filmed a video together. We got pizza together. Like I knew this kid. And I was in a parking lot, and I saw him. I saw him walking, and I said, I'll say his name. He's not gonna watch this, but I said, "Hey Cole, how's it going?" And the dude just looked at me and just kept on walking with such disgust on his face. I'm just like, what am I? What? Bro,
either he didn't know who you were, or he just didn't like you.
Yeah, it's like something clicked.
Something
clicked, and I had no idea. And obviously, it still affects me now. It's like, golly. It's like, what a jerk kid.
So let me ask you this. What is one way that for sure that this is not a very close relationship? This is I think we all want personal relationships. We want people to know us and us to know them. So what is one way that you just know that this relationship isn't very personal?
That isn't. So say that again.
So what would be one key indicator?
Okay.
Of Cole, for example.
Yep.
That you just know, this isn't a personal relationship. Probably we may know of each other, but
I thought we were pretty close until I saw him in that parking lot, and then I was like, oh, so we're not friends anymore. That's cool.
Do you think he remembered you at all?
No, I think he did. He gave me the I'm hanging out with my cooler friends right now, and I don't want to be associated with that Christian.
Yeah. So, what about you? What is something that you just know for sure? This just this isn't as close of a relationship that maybe I thought it was.
Well,
or
for me is like I had that feeling. Like I knew like it's just something you feel about that connection that just doesn't seem right. But like one is like when I know the friends that I have close with right now, I know something is wrong with them without even them having to tell me. You know, like I know something is up and I know something is off. It's like I ask like, hey, what's up? Like they're like, how do you know what something is wrong? Well, because you're my best friend. Like I know when you're off. It's like if somebody can't tell it about me and like no, I'm just like off and don't really like care about the situation, then that's just what telling me like this relationship isn't what I thought it was. You know.
Yeah, I think even this is a more shallower level, so y'all are kind of a little bit deeper on friends you really thought were friends, but even on some level, like let's say you're on a basketball team, or maybe not because that's a smaller team, a football team or whatever, and you have this group of people that you hang out with, and maybe there's the cool kid, and you know who they are, and y'all have talked, you've had interactions, and then all of a sudden like they can't remember your name. You ever been in one of those situations where it's like they're talking about everybody else and they're like, what was your name again? Like, what do you feel in that moment?
That is the biggest form of like embarrassment. Like,
it is.
Like, what? I thought you.
Like, I thought we were close, man. Or they say, or everybody that one person always is like calls you some random name like bro.
So,
hey, you buddy.
So
what's up, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like they never say your actual name.
I was on a football team, and this is a perfect example. I was on a football team, and Peyton Hillis was on my football team. And if anyone knows who Peyton Hillis was, he made pro. I mean, I don't think he made pro, but he was on. He was on the Browns and played for the Razorbacks and all this stuff. And I saw him one day, and this was probably within the last year. And I saw him, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he didn't know who I was.
He's like, who the heck are you?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm the Beast on the football team.
That was your name, the Beast?
I'm the Beast. I was in Conway football. And then he was like, oh, yeah, I sort of remember you. How's it going?
I sort of remember you.
And that was a little humiliating, I was just like, oh, whatever. Like,
but that's a good indicator that this is a pretty shallow
he was on the cover of a Madden game. Like, I get it. Like, he's cooler than I am.
I think we have this weird ability as humans to know a lot of people, but not really know them.
Yeah.
Or even know their name. Like, sure, he might have remembered you, but he didn't have a clue who you were.
No.
Now, I think, but the opposite is also true. Like, you ever had those relationships where you maybe thought somebody didn't know your name, and then all of a sudden they come and call you by name? Right? So give me an example of that.
Well, I couldn't really tell you the exact example, but I've definitely had people come up to me and be like, "You're Deven, right?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Like, how do you know me?
Well, and social media is a perfect example for that. It's like people follow you on social media. Sometimes you don't know people are paying paying that close attention to you. But like when they see you in public, you're like, "Oh, who is that?" And they're like, "You're Deven, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I follow you on Instagram." Like, wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I've had that happen before.
That's interesting.
For sure.
I didn't think about that.
I would say for me, it was, being a young life leader. And I know I keep on saying that, or even, a youth minister here. I mean, not a minister, but a youth pastor. I don't know if there's a difference.
Just the title.
Yeah.
The youth guy.
Yeah, I'm the youth guy. But like, I'll have kids, and I'll have, kids at the Young Life program that will say my name, and I've probably met them once, and it's, and I'm terrible at knowing people's names. Like, I'm the worst at it. And so they'll be like, "Oh, hey, Zach, how's it going?" And I'll be like, "Oh, how's it going, guy?"
It's tough when you're in charge of a lot of people. You have to be real intentional about it.
Yeah, and I'm learning. I've made an effort, a huge effort to try to, But I sometimes, if I'm really busy and then some guy introduces himself, like.
No, I agree. So here, which makes you, like, when I think of God and the fact that, I believe Jesus knows everybody on a personal level, that God knows everybody on a personal level. But when you look at what we're just talking about, of like, we may have, let's say there's 50 kids in a room, and we're trying to remember all their names. What is it? How does it make you feel, or what do you think about when I say that, Jesus knows you on a personal level? It's hard for us to do that with 50 people, yet he can do it with everybody.
The entire world.
Yeah, the whole world, and yet he still cares about you personally. Like, what comes to your mind when you think about that?
Just like how important I really am. Like someone so perfect like that wants to know you and does know you personally on a personal level, like knows everything about you. Like that makes me feel important.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel like, man, I mean something to somebody.
Do you believe it's true?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I guess I pursued a relationship in 2016 at beach camp, and since that day, it's just like I've had this feeling like, man, somebody's really there for me. Like I may not see him, but I know like whatever struggles I have, he's walking right through it with me, and I just have that feeling of like no matter what I go through in this life, he's gonna get the glory from this because I accepted him and I felt that for sure.
Yeah. So, just for time's sake, we'll keep moving, but it's one thing for me to say it, and now you have your story to say it. I'm sure you have a similar story. So we can all say that in this room, but I think, somebody may be listening like, okay, who cares if you say that? How do you really know that Jesus has a personal relationship with people? And when I think about that, I think, okay, well, let's go look at some examples in the Bible, which we believe to be true, of, okay, let's look at his life. Let's look at Jesus' life when he did come down to earth and how he treated people. And the first person I think of is this story of Zacchaeus.
Yep.
And just to give you a quick background on the story, is Zacchaeus was a tax collector, which everybody hated because he basically stole money, right? And he was the chief tax collector, which means he was hated above all of them, right? So you have this guy that was hated, and Jesus would often go through towns and share stories or whatever. And so he was going through town one day, and there's just a big crowd. And Zacchaeus was interested. So for whatever reason, he wanted to see what was going on with Jesus. And he couldn't see anything. The Bible talks about how he was a pretty small dude. And so he ended up climbing up in the tree just so he could kind of see Jesus. So he climbs up in this tree, and Jesus is walking through, and here's kind of what he talks about, or what happens it's in Luke 19 and verse 5. It says, when Jesus came by, he looked up at Zacchaeus and he called him by name. Zacchaeus, he said, quick, come down. I must be a guest in your home today. And Zacchaeus quickly climbed down and took Jesus to his house in great excitement and joy. Now here's the deal. Think about this. I mean, that's a big deal. Like the equivalent to that would probably be like who's your favorite celebrity?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. All right. Imagine if Steph Curry pulled you up on Instagram, started following you, and started leaving comments on all your pictures. He said, hey, Deven, hey, bro, we got to hang out one day. What would you do?
I'd be freaked out. I'd be weirded out.
I'd try to wake up.
No.
You're like, this is not happening.
I'd try to wake myself up like, this is not happening.
No, I would probably ask for a restraining order. Because
a restraining order? No, you would not.
It'd be too much. It'd be too much, man.
But that's kind of like what happened in this moment, right? Zacchaeus, who was hated by everybody, was the least deserving of Jesus going to his house. All of a sudden, Jesus shows up and says, hey, Zacchaeus, he calls him by name, first of all, which I think is a big deal. Then he says, I'm going to come over to your house. And ultimately, that led to Zacchaeus saying, Jesus, you know what? I'm sorry. It completely changed his life. Because he ended up, he said, hey, I'm going to repay back everybody that I stole money from. And I'm going to give him 4 times whatever I stole. I'm going to give to the poor. I'm going to do all this kind of stuff. Because Jesus showed up in his life and was very personal to him. So when we're talking about having a personal relationship, you can look at stories like that over and over again on how Jesus was just there for people and he showed up. And it didn't matter who they were, right? So when you think about people that you have relationships or that you're around, there's a lot of people that are hard to love, right? Would you say there's a lot of people that it's hard for you to get along with? You don't have to name them. There's people that are hard to get along with. And you look at the way Jesus treats people and how he treated Zacchaeus, the lowest of low of the dudes. And he said, you know what? I want to be with you. I want to have a relationship with you. And I think he does that with everybody. For the lonely people, for the bullies. We don't ever want to talk about the bullies, but God still loves them too. Doesn't like what they're doing, but loves them too.
Loves everybody.
For the annoying kid in your math class, right? Because we all have those people in our lives that we're just like, man, I hope I never have a class with you again, right? You're thinking of one right now, aren't you? See? We all have those people. And instead, we have to understand that, like, Jesus cares about us. And we can know that Jesus wants something personal with us because he knows our name. Right? He knows you. He knows you. He knows me. He knows Glennis. He knows the annoying kid in math class. So how does Jesus knowing your name and knowing you personally affect the way that you think about life and the way that you just live your life?
You wanna?
You go for it.
Okay. So you said, how does it make me feel?
Yeah, how does Jesus knowing you personally affect the way that you live your life? How has that changed you?
Well,
and you talked a little bit about it just a second ago.
I did at camp. I just like I said, like I know that somebody is there for me, whether I know whether I see him or not. That's just a big part of faith that we all need to have. Is like, even if he's not physically there, he's there.
Yeah.
And like he parted the sea, like he does a lot of miracles, and you just gotta believe like he's gonna work those same miracles in your life, no matter what you're going through right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you, knowing him personally means he's always there for you.
Just knowing him personally, just knowing that he's gonna be there for me and through ups and downs. The best time of my life and the worst part of my life.
That's good. What do you think, Zach?
So he loves every single person in this world, correct?
Yes.
All right. I may take this a little side out of the picture for a second, but hear me out.
Okay.
Do you believe in aliens?
I have never seen a reason to other than movies, so no. Would I discount them? No. If they were, I would think God made them.
Yep. And do you think God would love those aliens?
Yeah. If they're there.
If they were there, I agree with that. All right, so what was...
Okay.
What was the question?
How does Jesus knowing you personally affect the way that you live your life?
I think, it definitely affects me. Knowing that right when I wake up, God is there, and He's like, "All right, Zach, let's hang out. Let's play catch." Not. Yeah. Play catch in like a emotional. You're
playing emotional catch.
Yeah, and an emotional but I wake up and he wants that relationship. He's like, all right, Zach, what are we gonna do today? Well, that's how I feel like Jesus is like to me. It's like he's eager to know more about me.
Yeah.
And I think like Jesus is eager, and like just how Jesus was eager for Zacchaeus, he's eager about knowing me. But I think when it comes to me knowing Jesus, and I think for a lot of us, sometimes it could be more of a struggle, because it's not on our, the forefront of our minds. And so for me, but when I wake up, I try to have that excitement of, all right, so Jesus wants to spend time with me. All right, what are we going to read? And so I'll read something and, all right, Jesus, what are you showing me? It's a very childlike mindset.
So when you are reading the Bible, or whatever it is, you have this anticipation of, hey, this is me sitting down and having a conversation with God, right? That's how you...
What is he going to teach me
That's
today?
what you want.
What is he going to teach me in this morning, right now, that's going to help me throughout my day?
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to look at Scripture, because otherwise, if we just read it because we think we're supposed to.
I will make.
It's easy to just gloss right.
I will say, I've read the whole Bible except Numbers. I don't know if I said this on this.
Can't handle the numbers.
I can't handle numbers. It's one ear and out the other. It's.
Hey,
I don't want to say it sucks, but
there's reasons for it.
There's
just
not,
listen to
me,
it. Just
to
listen
me,
to it on the
and
Bible.
maybe I'm just not scripturally mature enough yet. But I can't. I've probably read 3 chapters of Numbers, and I'm like, I'm just gonna skip. I'm gonna skip to Moses. Moses is pretty dope. So
Leviticus
I go to Moses.
and Numbers is the hardest ones to get through.
Yeah,
Leviticus
isn't.
It's good
Leviticus
for history
isn't
and
even,
knowing a lot of different things and piecing other things together when you get deep into Scripture.
Leviticus isn't even that bad, but Numbers is
it's still tough. But
Leviticus is. It's digestible.
It's more really there, I think, just for proving history and showing some other things later on that helps. That was true.
Maybe I'm not there spiritually.
That's
but
all right. I
Numbers
don't dig deep into Numbers either.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not gonna go like, well, in Numbers and this and this and this. I got a great point from Numbers where you get to slaughter a lamb in front of your neighbor's house on a Thursday. It's like. I get that that's what you guys did 3,000 years ago, but I'm not going to slaughter a lamb on a Friday,
Right. It goes back to
with me being blindfolded and ears shut, All
right, moving on. We're gonna close out with a quick little kind of a game, not really, but I'm gonna show you some pictures.
Okay.
All right. I got 3 pictures. And they are galaxies, all right? Actually, 2 of them are a galaxy and 1 of them is a nebula, right?
Nebulas are stars.
The big difference there is the size of them. Galaxies are
Nebulas are stars, right?
Not specifically a collection of them. It's like a tiny galaxy.
Nebula is the girl that could take off her arms and could take off her legs in Marvel. And she's like, I'm going to take my arm off and hit you with it.
So here's the deal. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll put the pictures up on YouTube so you can play along too. If you're listening, you just have to go look them up yourself if you want to, or just whatever. All right, so I'm going to show you a picture, and here's what you have to do. You just have to give me the first thing that comes to your mind to name that galaxy. All right, so you are naming a galaxy right now. All right, so just you look at it, you take 5 seconds, and then you name it.
Okay.
All right, you ready? And then I'll tell you a little bit about what it is. All right, there's the first one.
Milky Way.
No, you can't guess what galaxy you think it is. You gotta name it. Just name it. Does that look like a Milky Way to you? I just think candy bar.
Cream.
Cream? Mm-hmm. What? Cream Galaxy?
Yeah, Cream Galaxy.
You're terrible at naming. All right, you got another one?
No.
Or the Creamy Galaxy.
This is the sombrero. Creamy. The sombrero galaxy.
The sombrero?
Sombrero.
Okay.
Kind of see it, maybe? Here's fun facts about the sombrero galaxy. It is a lenticular galaxy.
You don't even know what that is.
In the constellation Virgo, which is found 31,100,000 light years away from Earth.
We got a Neil Tyson in our hands.
That is a long ways. I don't know how long a light year is. I'm sure some people watching do. I do not, but that's a long ways. All right, here's the second one. You ready?
Right. Yep.
Cheeks. The
cheeky galaxy.
The nebula.
The cheeky galaxy.
The cheeks.
The cheeky galaxy.
Cheeks nebula. You said the hourglass.
Yeah, it looks like an hourglass.
It's kind of like.
If you actually look at it like this, what does it look like?
An hourglass.
It looks like a butterfly.
Butterfly. This is the butterfly nebula.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought they looked like.
Here's fun facts about
that.
They
look like cheeks.
It is a planetary nebula in the constellation Scorpius, wherever that is. It is the most complex ever observed in planetary nebulas. And the central star is one of the hottest stars known, with a surface temperature over 450,000 degrees. Now, to put that into context,
that's hot.
Into perspective, the sun is just under 6,000 degrees. And this star is over 450,000 degrees.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine, how far away do you have to be
to
not get scorched by that thing? All right, last one. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Here you go.
I think one of those like hypnotized things, you know what I'm talking about?
Is that a cross?
This is the hypnotizing galaxy?
Yeah, it was like spinning.
All right, answer it. Yeah, that's longer than 5 seconds.
I would say the snail. It looks like
the
a snail.
snail galaxy.
It looks like a snail.
This is actually the Whirlpool galaxy.
Whirlpool.
That was my second guess.
Is it God's hot tub?
This is God's hot tub.
It's a God's hot tub or God's refrigerator?
Here's the thing about this, though. Like, it's actually a star formation factory. It's like all those little swirly arm things.
Yeah.
It's compressing hydrogen gas and creating clusters of new stars.
Huh, interesting.
Did you know that?
All right,
Fun
so
fact.
so what point are you trying to make, Chris,
Here's
with
the
all
deal.
these galaxies?
Here's the deal. God made all those galaxies, correct? In addition to very many more. And he did that just for fun.
Yep.
Just for whatever. And the fact that you have a God that can do all that, can make those galaxies, still makes you and still desires to have a personal relationship with us is kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Right? And I think kind of what we want to get to today is just like Zacchaeus, like he was seeking something in Jesus. And we're all at different places in our life. Maybe you've been there and you have a personal relationship with Jesus. Maybe you could care less about this whole Jesus thing. Or maybe you're in a place where you want to dig a little bit deeper. Right? I would say be like Zacchaeus. Like he climbed up in a tree because he was looking for something, and then he finally found it, and Jesus changed his life. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. You know, keep seeking this Jesus that we're talking about, and keep trying to determine what a personal relationship looks like. And if you're in the Fort Smith area, you can come to Community Bible Church, and we'll have a conversation with you, or you can leave something in the comments or whatever. But know that Jesus wants to have a relationship with you. And I would encourage you just to seek that out, find a church near you, wherever it is, because it's just like Deven said, it is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make in your life that will eventually change your life, just like it did for me and Zach and Deven and Zacchaeus. So that is it.
All right, guys.
You don't get to close this out.
All right, guys. It was really fun talking to you guys. I hope you learned a lot. See you guys later.
No. Deven, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hope you had fun.
And see you later.
Zach, you gotta get rid of those tattoos.
See you later.
I like them, but that one looks really bad. So, anyways, love you guys. We will see you next week.